Hi, everyone. This is Representative Pam Altendorf, and I wanted to make sure I do my weekly update. So I had someone text and remind me, and they said, you didn't do your weekly update yet. Don't forget. So I said I was going to do this, so I want to really make sure I'm sticking to this. It's been great to hear from so many people in my district, and, thank you for reaching out. And it's just nice to know that you're watching or listening. And I had someone else this week tell me that they really look forward to my email updates. So I've been doing these Facebook live updates, and then I've been doing weekly email updates. And one of the things I often hear is people are saying, they're not, a lot of the things they're hearing, they're just not hearing in the news, or they don't know about it. And so that's why I want to do this. I want, the best way, I believe, for the public, for us to, we all want a better Minnesota. We all want to improve. And the thing is we have to know the truth, and we also have to know both sides. And oftentimes what's very, very unfortunate is our media, at a state level and at a national level, perhaps we're only seeing one side. And, that's very, very unfortunate, because people believe something very strongly, but it's based on the information that they've received, and they maybe only see half the picture. And so there's so much happening every week. It's a little bit hard to summarize these, but I will try to do my very best. I'm in a car. I'm not moving, by the way. So this was a busy week for me. For my sales business, we have a booth at the Home and Garden Show this week, and so I was a little bit going back and forth a little bit from working at the Capitol to the Minneapolis Convention Center. And today's Saturday, and tomorrow I'll be here all day. But what happened this week, I just want to go over a little bit. And like I said, I could probably do a video per day. Maybe I need to start doing more videos than just one a week, because I know this gets a little bit long. So Monday, when we went to the floor, that day they came out with the budget. And we saw at that point, even with inflation being factored in, because that's a new thing that was passed, our budget still remains that Minnesota, we're at like a $17.5 billion surplus. And, it's just so unfortunate, because now we're 9 weeks into the legislative session. And I always say, there's a saying, it's watch what people do, not what they say. Because unfortunately, our Democrat far left friends, they are masters at manipulating the language. And so they have these great headlines, like there's clean energy. And then everyone's like, oh, look at them supporting clean energy. But, and again, it's not that I'm not for clean energy, but if you are only reading headlines, you're getting half the story. So we have this huge surplus. And what have the Democrats done? They are in control. They literally right now could do almost anything. Many of them campaigned on, returning the Social Security, or the eliminating the Social Security tax. So they actually campaigned on it. You could go back to these campaigns. You could look at their literature, and that was a bullet for them, that they were in support of eliminating the Minnesota Social Security tax. By the way, just a little background, we're like one of only 12 states that do that. Okay, so watch what they do, not what they say. And if this truly was a top priority for the Minnesota Democrats, guess what? They could have done this immediately. This could have been done right away on week 2, but instead their number one priority was abortions, which already was legal in Minnesota. And that was the very first bill that went through all chambers, and then the governor signed into law, was this radical extreme abortion bill, which, again, how does that affect eliminating the Social Security tax would greatly help Minnesotans, many of them who are suffering and making payments, high gas prices, high food prices. That would be something that would affect so many Minnesotans. So that would be good for Minnesota, for all of Minnesota. But they haven't done that. So the Republicans, we went to the floor on Monday, and we tried to bring the bill, eliminating the Social Security tax bill to the floor. as an emergency, that we need to get this done. Minnesota has the $17.5 billion surplus. And, of course, we don't have the votes, but we're trying to call them out on their hypocrisy. We're trying to message to the public to let them know that if they're, elected Democrat officials, if they really supported the senior citizens, if they really wanted to eliminate the Social Security tax, they absolutely could do that. So that's what happened on Monday. Also, I want to give a little kudos out. This week I had Ryan and Jeff. They are from my district, and they stopped by my office. They work at the Red Wing prison. And they were, this is what I mean. Kudos to them. Right now, we don't, the representatives and the senators, we don't have the Republican votes to stop all of this crazy nonsense that's coming through the Minnesota legislature. We don't have the votes. Okay, everyone knows that, right? But you know who can stop the craziness? It's the people. And so when you, the people, are starting to pay attention, you're reading bills, and then contacting your state legislators. That's how we bring change. So I just want to give big kudos out to Ryan and Jeff. Again, they're from my district. They're awesome. They came to my office. We had a great talk, but they work at a prison, and they basically, read this bill, and they were like, this doesn't even make sense. So here is a House representative, someone is making laws, and they said that they basically could not implement the law in the prison the way it was written. So again, why do we have bureaucrats, making laws that don't even make sense at the local level? And that was what they did. So thank you. They were paying attention. They, contacted the legislators, the Democrats, and said this doesn't make sense for Minnesota prisons, and here's why. And it sounds like the Democrats were going to change that bill to make it, so that it actually heaven forbid that we're making laws that actually make sense, and then that we can implement at a local level. So again, big kudos to them. But the reason why I want to highlight them is that's what we need to do, Minnesota, is we need to be paying attention to all of these garbage bills that are coming through, and really try to make a difference. So I don't know if you've heard, but this last week, there's also a bill that Democrats want to ban selling water in plastic bottles, and that's not a joke. Last week, I think I told you, but they want to ban lawnmowers and yard equipment from using gas. What else? There was a crazy bill that was coming through that wants to make Interstate 94 a boulevard. What? So I don't think it's the whole section. I think it's just like a section through Minneapolis, St. Paul. But it's like, okay, so we have the Minnesota taxpayers. You've spent all of these, millions and millions of dollars to make that an interstate. And now the Democrats want to make that a boulevard and add green space and bike trails. And again, I'm not against that, but does that make sense? And then is that good for our tax dollars? So I have a lot of questions on that. But anyway, so the ideas and the crazy bills never end. They just keep on coming through. Let's see. I'm looking here. I was asked to be a guest speaker at a concerned citizens group in Lake Elmo, and I just want to thank them for asking me to be a speaker there. And look, everyone, my two takeaways to everyone in Minnesota is we have to have hope, and we need action. And that's what I'm telling everybody is we really do have both of those things. So even though none of us are happy right now, if you're a conservative and we're watching all of these really bad laws being pushed through, I'll tell you what this is doing and what I don't know if I'll go as far as say exciting to see, but I am excited is when I am talking to, because not everybody that comes into my office is Republican. A lot of them are Democrats, moderate Democrats, independents, moderates. And when I have people coming into my office that literally say well, I was a Democrat, or I'm a moderate, or I'm an independent, and they're saying to me, what is happening? Well, this is crazy, this is too far, this is too much. So I know as a conservative, this could be frustrating, obviously, because this is just such a extreme agenda. But I just want to give you hope is what I am seeing daily, literally daily, is Democrats or moderates or independents are now at some point talking to me and saying, wow, this is too much. This is not what we want in Minnesota, and this is too extreme. So people are waking up, okay? The pendulum is swung way too far to the left. So even though this is a dark time and there's really bad laws being passed, I do believe in the people of Minnesota, and I do believe that we're going to say no. That we're going to change things around, So, and then I've just been talking to people a lot about action. So just like Ryan and Jeff got involved with the actual process, they read a bill about, new laws they wanted to pass in the prison system, and that's where they work. They got involved in the process. They read the bill. They were like, this is a bad bill. This doesn't make sense. And they contacted the legislators. So you can write, you can call, but get involved in the process. That's the big thing. And then just the last thing I wanted to talk about too was, someone had written into the, Red Wing paper, and they had a letter to the editor, and they basically said that we would like our state representatives to stop saying that the Democrats are socialists, and they wanted us to define what socialism is. Well, just a little bit about me. I mean, I grew up in a family where we were a farm family. We had 6 kids. I was one of 6 kids, and we didn't have a lot of money. We worked hard for everything that we had, but I still believed, because it's the American dream. I believed that when I was told, and I believed it, that if you went to school and you worked hard to get good grades, you could do well at school. And that I was told, and I believed that if you worked hard in life, that you could do anything you wanted to, anything. And I believe that. And so that's the difference. That's freedom. That's, to me, the American dream, is that as Americans, when we have freedom, we can do anything. But it's individualism. It's up to you to work hard to do that and to get that. What socialism is, literally like just a couple of examples, but it would be, one student getting an A, another student getting an F, and saying to the whole room, everybody gets a C. Like, that's socialism. Another one is in college. This is a good example. But so like if I was a parent that I worked hard, like maybe I worked a part-time job and a full-time job. So I'm working 12 hours a day to help my child go to college and to finish college and to not have loans at the end, because I know there's a lot of families that did that. And they worked hard because they don't want loans. They don't want to pay the interest on loans. And that was the decision that they made as a family. Now, if another family, one of their children, they went to, Madison, which is a very expensive college, and they studied abroad. And so instead of taking 4 years to graduate, they took 5 years to graduate, and they didn't pay for it, and they didn't work a second job. And so at the end of their college career, they have $100,000 in school loans. So one family took the approach of working hard, having a second job, trying to get through school as fast as possible, and they have 0 loans. And the other family felt that they should get any education that they deserved, even if they couldn't afford it, and ran up all these loans, and now they owe $100,000. Socialism is now telling the taxpayers, the people that worked hard to pay for their own college and their kids' college, because they made choices to not have debt. Now they're telling those people, oh, with your tax money, you're also going to have to pay for the kid that did not work hard. That's socialism. And I think most people, when you really break it down, are against that. It's like the reason why I know right now in the schools, there's a push to try to make children believe that socialism is good, because it's all about fair and equity, and they use all these pretty words. But what socialism does is it takes away competition It takes away individualism, and it takes away people doing well that put in the hardest effort. It's kind of like the little league team, the little kids playing baseball, and they just say, everybody gets a participation trophy. Well, guess what? That's not how it is in life. The people that work hard, who make sacrifices, who take out loans, who take out the risks, should be rewarded higher than someone who is lazy and is doing the very minimum to get by. So that is socialism versus the greatness of America, which we were built on, which is when you are free, you can do anything you want and you're rewarded for that success. And that's the danger that we're living right now in Minnesota and in our country, is that we have taught a generation of our children that socialism is better than freedom. We need to teach history, and every time socialism is tried, it fails. It fails miserably, because eventually with socialism, only a few people are in charge in government, and they get to become the dictators, the tyrants, and they get to decide for the rest of society what's best for them and what's not best for them. So that's socialism. So thank you for the letter to the editor about asking us what socialism is in the Red Wing paper. That's why I'm against socialism, and that's why I will continue to call out day after day after day the far left Democrats right now embracing socialism ideas. That's why I will continue to fight against it, and I will call it out day after day after day, because socialism and the idea of socialism is dangerous to our society. Okay, so I just want to end on one last thing. It's kind of funny when these bills come to the House floor. They're pushing through, again, the Democrats are just pushing through such horrible ideas. So watch what they do, not what they say. So far, they've prioritized killing babies all the time, like all the way up to the second that they're being born. So that's a priority, right? Even though abortions was already legal in Minnesota, but what the heck? Let's put that on top agenda number one. There are other priorities that they've passed into law is this blackout bill. So 2040 blackout bill, which is not going to happen, Minnesota. We're never going to reach carbon-free energy by 2040. And I would literally take a bet with anyone on that. It's the most ridiculous, irresponsible, dangerous bill. But you know what that blackout bill was? It was a headline. So the Democrats got to say, oh, look at us. We're going to have carbon-free energy by 2040. And all of you naive people that believe that, yeah, right. That's not going to happen. So the last thing I just want to tell you is, as these bills are coming through, like Thursday we're on the floor. Okay, so I just want to tell you, here's the process of my brain. Okay, the bill is to create or build, it's for homeless, some new homeless shelters for people. All right. So from a compassionate level, because truly I am actually a compassionate person and I love people and I want people to do well. And I have a great deal of compassion for homeless people. So I just want to take you through the process in my head. Okay, what's this bill? This is for homeless people. I love people. I want to support people. That's the compassionate side of me, okay? Then I look at the price tag, $35 million. $35 million. So then I'm like on a financial side going, wow, that is a lot of money for taxpayer dollars. But then I'm like, well, what is the investment? Does it make sense? Then you read into the bill and it's like, all it's doing is providing homeless shelter. It is not doing anything to prevent the problem, to prevent homelessness. So now I'm like, okay, we're basically going to put in $35 million of taxpayer money to continue to support homelessness, to not try to end it. Because this bill was not to end homelessness. It was not. And again, I'm going to keep on saying this, but cute name, bad idea. I'm not looking at it right now. I think they put on this bill, the cute name is Pathway to Home. Okay, so again, if you're reading in the paper, Pathway to Home, oh, God bless those Democrats. God bless them. What a compassionate group of people that they want to help homelessness. Okay, is providing the homes to keep them homeless, is that really compassionate? Because what I would do is I would put that $35 million into ways to prevent homelessness, not to house homelessness. So do you see the difference? But if you just read the headline, Pathway to Home, you think, wow, what compassionate Democrats. You know what? The Minnesota Democrats want to be California. Here's a little job for you. Research homelessness in California. And now look at this bill that the Democrats just passed in the House. And they want to turn us into California. So when we have more and more homeless problems, you can thank the Democrats. But again, this is all being exposed. So again, back to hope and action. Contact your legislators. I don't want to leave you with not having any hope. But anyways, just taking you through the process of Representative Altendorf's brain is I went from, oh, what's this bill on homelessness? I have compassion. I want to support this, to $35 million. That is a whole lot of money. What is going on here? Then reading deeper in the bill, realizing there's nothing to prevent homelessness here. Okay. So I went from, gosh, maybe I could vote for this, to, this doesn't seem financially responsible to the taxpayer who I'm supposed to be protecting, to then you can watch the tape, but watching the Democrats grand stage for probably over an hour of talking about how compassionate they all are for homelessness. Okay. I went from, maybe I could support this bill, to researching it, to being like, wow, this does not seem like a good taxpayer dollar thing, so I'm most likely a no, to watching them grand stage for an hour. And I was literally like, by the end, heck no, heck no, heck no. Okay, so that's it for me. If you're around Minneapolis, I'm gonna be at the convention center today and tomorrow. God bless you. I love you all. We're gonna keep fighting through this. And again, your jobs: share, wake up neighbors, talk to people, talk about this crazy stuff that's going through the Minnesota State Legislature. Contact them and just keep sharing this information. And guess what? In the end, we will win. I mean, our message is going to win in the end. I'm telling you, Democrats don't want this. Minnesotans don't want this. Moderates don't want this. Independents don't want this. Business owners don't want this. The agenda that's coming through, nobody wants this, So anyways, God bless you. Keep fighting the fight. Good fight. Share. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Oh, I started my Twitter page. Follow me there. So anyways, that's it. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.